Hey guys, welcome back to another Regular Dude fishing video. I am your friendly neighborhood Regular Dude, John, and this is going to be just some quick and super easy, cost-efficient DIY stuff that you can do to make save you a little bit of money and to help you be better at fishing and a little more convenient stuff. We're making sinkers right now. I've already got a video about how we make our sinkers, but some of these, the two sinker molds that I have are for the egg sinkers and for the no roll sinkers, which is, you know, everybody knows that your line goes through these holes for like Carolina style rigs and so on. But every once in a while we need sinkers that we can just tie to the end of the line, or we can clamp onto the big sinker swivel clamps if you're using sliding sinkers and stuff like that. So what I do in that situation is I get this costs about $5, and you get 40 of these little screw eyes hooks. These are number 210 by 1 3/16 inch. You'll need something that's got a small enough shank that you can screw into the end of your lead. And you want it to be really snug, nice and tight fit. You're going to probably have to use pliers, which is what I do. Use some pliers. And that way you can screw them right down in to the end of your sinker. This will secure this eye in there so that you can now use the eye at the end of the sinker as a point to either tie it on to the end or put it into your large swivel latch like that. And that is in there really good, man. So the hooks, that's the way we don't have to buy different molds for different types of sinkers. We can use what we need, and we get 40 of these for $5. So this is going to give us 40 sinkers that we can use with the eye on it, rather than having to buy another sinker mold or trying to figure out a way to bend the metal and stuff inside the mold. I've tried that and I can't get it to work. I just don't have enough room to get everything closed. So this is what I've been doing. This works great. And for $5 you're going to get 40 of these, which saves a lot of money. So next we'll go look at some rod props and rod holders and how we make those ourselves too. Okay guys, next I'll show you how I make my rod props. This is just what I use when I'm on the bank or on a boat dock or something that I'm fishing. A lot of guys will say, you know, finding a stick and putting it down works just fine for them, and that's great. And it's free. Me, I never can find a good stick, or I break it the wrong way or something like that. So this is an electric fence post. You can get these at any of your local hillbilly feed stores, Tractor Supply, Rural King. They cost about $2. And they've got all these little places where you can clip your electric fence wire that runs through. And each one of these is a potential rod prop. And I like this because it comes with this little spike on the bottom here, and it sticks right straight down in the mud. Of course, now it's not going to go in my backyard as rocks, like that. And it gives you a good height. And if you're fishing on a boat dock, it'll also go in between the boards of the dock. You can push them down in the dock like that, and it'll prop it up that way. Sometimes it may want to wobble on you back and forth, but if you get it close to the edge where that support board goes and holds them all together, then it will usually be sturdy enough to where it'll hold up your rod and do what it's supposed to do. Now what I do is on these little clips here, I just take a lighter and heat them up. I'm not trying to melt them. I'm not trying to do anything other than just get it warm enough to where I can bend it out a little bit. And you can do this right out there. If you break one, you can do it right on the riverbank. And I just want to bend it out just a little bit, like that, to where my rod can go in between there. I'll bend that a little bit more. And wait for it to cool off a little bit so it'll hold that shape. Like that, and then I can set it down and my rod tip goes right in here and it's propped up. You can do several different levels, or if this one here breaks off on you, which they will do from time to time to break off, then just take out your handy dandy lighter and do the next one down to where it will it'll be your prop. You can see also that these will have this little bit of a hook right up here for the electric fence wire that'll hold it inside here. What I do is, if you're on the riverbank, I just take my knife, my pocket knife, and cut that off. If I'm doing it at home, then I'll just take a pair of wire cutters, side cutters, and snip that off just like that. That way you're not getting caught on anything when you're trying to set the hook when you get a bite. So that is my little $2 rod prop, and you get lots of them for $2. To me, it's worth saving the time trying to find and whittle the perfect stick on the bank of the river or the lake, whatever we're fishing on. So next, I'll show you my rod holder that I make for whenever I'm using my big catfish rods and I'm on the river and I'm going to be there for a while. These here, I'll show you in a little bit how I just bundle these right up with my rods, and they're really lightweight. Bundle them right up in my rods, that way I can carry the whole bundle with my rods and my rod props at the same time. And we'll show you that in a little bit, but next we'll do our rod holder. Okay guys, here's my two catfishing rods. Here's my two rod props that I take to the riverbank with me. And I just bundle them all together with one of these rod straps, one of these rod bundles. And that makes a nice neat package. It's easy to carry, easy to transport. If you don't have any of these Velcro ones, just feel free to take a couple of pieces, strips of cloth of any kind, and if you got an old t-shirt laying around that's got holes in it, cut a couple of strips out of it, and you can use that to tie your bundle together, and it makes it nice and compact and easy to transport. Now, the last kind of holder that I use, I don't have any more of the long zip ties, but I'll show you how I did it. This is a pre-cut section of 2-foot, 1/2-inch rebar, and this is, I think it's about 16 maybe inches, roughly 14 inches, somewhere in there, of 2-inch PVC pipe that I cut to length. And I just put a zip tie around the PVC and around the rebar at the top and at the bottom. And then I reinforce it with some just electrical tape. That way I can, when I'm on the riverbank, I can set it in the ground, push it in the mud, and my rod fits right in there. Get one of my rods. That way my rod will fit right in there, and it'll hold it up, and it's out of the mud and that kind of stuff, and they're really sturdy. So if you get a big fish that takes the bite and you get a nice big bite, it's gonna hold up to it. You can adjust the angle, whichever, like if you want to put it up a little bit taller. Sometimes, since I use circle hooks, I'll put it up a little bit at a steeper angle like this, and then I'll take a rock and I'll just kind of drive that rebar into the ground where it's good and solid, and that'll be that's another type of rod holder that I use. These are my two DIY rod prop and rod holder. Let me put my rod together here real quick, and I'll just show you. Cast it out, let it set, put it right up in my rod prop. And it works. It works good. They're good, they're sturdy, and they only cost a couple of bucks each to make and put them together yourself. So we don't want to go that kind of catfishing. Anyway, hope this helps you guys. We'll learn more in the next video, and we'll try to do more next time. So until the next time, you guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Fishing!